Hey everybody, this is Danelle and thank you for tuning in. Today we're going to talk about the inflation numbers that came out today, as well as a quick overview of the crypto market and NFT market and what this means for the overall macro environment as inflation continues to rise. As you can see here in this CNBC article, inflation rose to 9.1% from this past June 2022, a little higher than expected and higher than the 8.6% that was the results from May. So we continue to go up in inflation, and with this, the Federal Reserve will likely continue to rise interest rates. So unfortunately, it hurts those who are from low economic areas and lower income areas because of the fact that prices of goods, which basically inflation refers to the prices of goods and services, are going up. So obviously we see gas prices are going up partially because of what's happening between Ukraine and Russia, but also we see prices going up for just general groceries, going out to eat. All different types of services are going up in price as well, traveling. So it's an increase in pricing. And so that hurts most of us. We see it and it affects our pockets. And so the reason why we see ourselves going into a recession is because of the fact that there's going to be less spending that's happening. And as the Federal Reserve tries to fight inflation, they're increasing the interest rate. So many of us, because prices are going up with so many products and services, may need to take out loans potentially, whether it be credit cards or whatnot, to try to, battle some of the higher costs to just have a basic living. And in doing that, you're now going to be paying more because your interest rates are going to be higher. So it's going to be costing more to try to take out a loan to buy a house. That's why people are predicting that the housing market is going to bust and see a major decline. And they're already starting to see that people are already canceling deals to buy homes, especially new construction homes, because of interest rates going up so high. The mortgages are going to be way out of their price range. So you're seeing that as an issue. So now that the interest rates are going higher, they are fighting, so-called fighting inflation, because by doing that, that means that there will be less spending. That means that there'll be less demand, and then prices will start to go back down. Now, that doesn't quite work the way necessarily that the Federal Reserve and the government is hoping that it's going to happen, but time will tell. This has happened before in the past. Most likely some of these prices are going to be here to stay, because at the end of the day, the demand is not going to change for food. The demand is not going to change for groceries. The demand is not going to change for gas until we go into, more electric driving. So it's going to be interesting to see, and it's going to be a very, shaky economic outlook, most likely, at least for the next, year or so, particularly the remaining of 2022. So it's going to affect the stock market and the crypto market as well. So you can see here, shoppers paid sharply higher prices for a variety of goods in June. The Consumer Price Index, which is the measure of everyday goods and services related to the cost of living, rise from 9.1% from a year ago. So it's just going that it's continuing to raise higher. As I mentioned last month, the number was at 8.6%. So on the news of the higher inflation number, we'll start with the S&P 500. It initially started to, kind of stay in a particular range, and then it went down later on throughout the day because people are having a negative outlook, and the stock market in general, as we see, is continuing to go down as we look over the last 6 months. Year to date, the stock market overall, and we use the S&P as a benchmark of what's happening in the overall stock market, continues to go down, and it's kind of now ranging in this lower area in that bear market territory, which is over 20%. And then we'll look at the crypto markets. As you can see, over the last 24 hours, Bitcoin has gone down nearly 3%, Ethereum 2%, And as we go on down, obviously, a lot of the altcoins are going to go down just as much, if not more, than Bitcoin and Ethereum. So the markets have gone down today, mostly off of the inflation numbers that came out on Wednesday, July 13th of 2022. Just so we can get an understanding once again of what inflation is. Inflation is the decline of purchasing power of a given currency over time, a quantitative estimate of the rate in which the decline in purchasing power occurs can be reflected in the increase of an average price level of a basket of selected goods and services in an economy over a period of time. Key takeaways is the most commonly used inflation indexes are the consumer price index, as we mentioned earlier, and the wholesale price index. Inflation can be viewed positively or negatively depending on the individual viewpoint and rate of change. Those with tangible assets like property or stocked commodities may like to see some inflation as that raises the value of their assets. As of right now, we see that some commodities like oil, for example, is down. Property potentially could go down. That remains to be seen, but it looks like because of the interest rates going up because of inflation, there's a possibility that home prices may go down or stay stagnant for a while. So now let's go to the NFT market. Things are pretty much staying around the same range, even though there are some projects that are continuing to basically print money. Bored Ape Yacht Club, despite all of the controversy that has been surrounding it over the past month or two since NFT NYC, they are still coming up with volume of nearly $2 million. We see here over the last 24 hours, it's done over 1,900 in Ethereum terms over the past 24 hours, which is approximately $2 million. And usually most NFT projects, they get royalties of approximately 5% of every sale. So given this, they're making upwards of $100,000 a day. So Yuga Labs, which owns Bored Ape Yacht Club, CryptoPunks, Mutant Ape Yacht Club, MeBits, amongst others, are basically printing six figures plus a day. So that company is doing extremely well. So that's why we want to learn more about the NFT market and ways that our communities can hopefully find opportunities to raise capital, not only through DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations, but also through being able to, showcase their art. And another way, not the only way, but another way that they can make money off of their art. And there's so many other ways that you can use NFTs. Please refer to our introduction to NFT video that we did a while back. We really think that that's a great resource that you can use to learn a little bit more about the different types of NFTs that are out there currently, and there's going to be even more use cases down the line. So we can see Ethereum name service. That's similar to having a domain name on the internet. It's basically the domain name on the Ethereum blockchain. And that continues to do extremely well and has been in the top 10 or so for the last several weeks. And as we go on down, we see a bunch of newcomers as well as art plays coming from artists that are a little bit more popular, and their item count is a little bit lower as compared to the typical 10,000 profile picture NFT projects and collections that many people know NFTs for. So this is just a brief overview of what's been going on considering today's news. We just wanted to give some perspective with regards to what's happening from the macro level, and we need to have a better understanding. We're not financial advisors. We please encourage you to do as much research as you can, and it's important now because we are in a bear market to learn as much as we can, because we can take advantage of these opportunities. Because please believe there's a lot of people on the sidelines who have capital ready to deploy as the market continues to go down, because millionaires and billionaires were made from the 2008 stock crash. Same thing through the financial crisis in 2007, 2008, I should say. Same thing in 2000 with the dot-com bubble, and same as the other major crashes that we've had in the stock market. So we can do the same with regards to cryptocurrency and stocks and other assets that we choose to invest in. So let's take this time now to learn as much as we can as to what's going on in the global market, the macroeconomic market, and how it affects the way that we invest. So please stay tuned. We look forward to connecting with you soon. Please, we welcome you to join the Networkchain. We look forward to linking up with you. In the meantime, be safe out there and take care. Bye-bye.